I always thought silence was my strength. At work I spoke less and delivered more. People called me reliable, invisible, safe. I liked it that way. Good work again, my team lead used to say. I would nod and reply, just doing my job. That job was building the backbone of the company. Systems, deals, long nights. I stayed late while others went home. I fixed problems no one wanted to claim. I never asked for credit. I believed effort mattered more than titles. Lena used to tease me about it. "You're too humble," she'd whisper when the office lights dimmed. I'd smile and say, "Someone has to stay grounded." She'd laugh. "One day you'll regret hiding." Lena was different. Brilliant. Sure. Hungry. Everyone knew she was next in line for the CEO seat. When she walked into a room, people straightened their backs. When she spoke, they listened. When she chose me, I thought it meant something real. "Promise me one thing," she said the night I slipped the ring onto her finger. "What?" I asked. "No secrets between us," she said softly. I hesitated, then replied, "Never." The ring was simple. Gold. No diamonds. She said she loved that about it. "It's honest," she said. I believed her. At work, we acted like strangers. At home, we planned a future. "When I become CEO," she said once, "we'll tell everyone." I replied, "Power changes people." She shook her head. "Not me. Not us." That morning, she kissed my cheek before I left. "Big meeting today," she said. "I know," I replied. "I finalized the projections." She smiled. "I'm counting on you." The boardroom door was half open when I arrived. Voices spilled out. Laughter. I paused. "A risky move," a man said. "It was my call," Lena replied. My chest tightened. I stepped closer. "The restructuring plan," she continued, "was something I personally designed." Someone clapped. "Impressive," another voice said. I pushed the door open. No one looked at me. Lena stood at the head of the table, confident, glowing. "As you can see," she said, "this strategy positions us ahead of our competitors." I cleared my throat. "Lena." She glanced at me like I was furniture. "You're late." I swallowed. "That plan," she cut me off, "was approved. Sit down." I sat. My hands felt cold. She turned back to the executives. "I'd also like to introduce our new strategic partner." The door opened again. "Ethan," she said warmly, "come in." He walked to her side. Tall. Smiling. Confident. His hand brushed hers. She didn't move away. "We'll be working closely," she added. Someone asked, "What about the senior manager who handled development?" Lena laughed. "Oh, him," she said. "He followed instructions. Nothing more." I felt heat rush to my face. "That's not true," I said quietly. She finally looked at me. Her eyes were cold. "Do you have something to add?" she asked. I stood. "I built that model. Every line." Ethan chuckled. "Relax," he said. "Team effort, right?" Lena crossed her arms. "This isn't the place for ego." "Lena," I said, "we're engaged." Silence fell. She smiled, thin and sharp. "Not here, we're not." I felt the ring in my pocket, heavy as stone. She continued the meeting like I didn't exist. I stood there, unseen, unheard, erased. In that moment, I understood everything. The ring meant nothing. Love meant nothing. I had just been stabbed, quietly, professionally, perfectly. The meeting restarted like nothing had happened. Lena tapped the table. "Let's proceed," she said. I stayed standing. "You humiliated me." She didn't look up. "Sit down or leave." A board member cleared his throat. "Lena, perhaps we should." She cut him off. "This restructuring requires clarity." I asked, "Clarity for who?" She met my eyes. "For the future." Ethan leaned back and smiled. "Change is uncomfortable." I snapped, "So is betrayal." Murmurs spread around the room. Lena sighed. "Enough drama." She pressed a button on her tablet. "As of today, several positions are being eliminated." My name appeared on the screen. I said, "You can't be serious." She replied, "Your role is redundant." I laughed once. "I built half this department." She shrugged. "Anyone can be replaced." The word hit harder than a slap. Replaceable. I looked around the table. No one spoke. No one defended me. I asked quietly, "Is this personal?" She answered just as quietly, "This is business." Ethan added, "You'll land somewhere else." I turned to him. "Did she rehearse that line with you?" Lena stood. "Security will escort you out." "Escort me?" I repeated. "Yes," she said. We're done. I gathered my papers with shaking hands. As I walked out, whispers followed. Did you hear? So sudden. He messed up. No one met my eyes. At my desk, I opened the drawer. The engagement ring stared back at me. I remembered Lena laughing at midnight. Just one more hour, she'd say. I remembered coffee gone cold. I trust you, she'd whisper. A junior analyst passed by. I'm sorry, she said. It's okay, I lied. I packed slowly. Each item felt heavier than it should. My notebook, my badge, my pride. Someone coughed behind me. HR needs your signature. I signed without reading. In the elevator, my reflection looked unfamiliar. I asked myself, how did it come to this? The doors opened. No one followed. Outside, the building towered above me. Blast. Still. Silence. My phone rang. Hello? I said. It's Han, the voice replied. I froze. Mr. Han? Yes, he said. I heard what happened. I asked, how? He chuckled. Board rumors travel fast. I leaned against the wall. I lost everything. He replied, no, you didn't. I closed my eyes. She fired me. She fired an employee, he said. Not an owner. My heart pounded. Don't do this, I said. You buried the truth, he replied. I whispered, I did it for love. And love buried you, he said. I asked, what do you want from me? To remind you who you are, he answered. Cars passed. People walked by. The world kept moving. You're the majority shareholder, he said calmly. I said nothing. You hid behind a blind trust, he continued. For her, I admitted. Silence stretched. He said, will you keep hiding? I looked up at the building. Windows reflected the sky. My old office was somewhere up there. I don't want revenge, I said. He replied, then what do you want? I felt something settle inside me. Balance, I said. He paused. Then stop being invisible. The call ended. I stood there alone. No job. No fiancé. No mask. For the first time, I didn't feel broken. I felt awake. I didn't go home. I went to Maya's office instead. She opened the door and froze. You look like hell. I got fired, I said. She stepped aside. Come in. I sat on the couch and stared at the floor. She asked, her? I nodded. She chose him? Yes. Maya crossed her arms. I warned you. I know, I said. I didn't listen. She poured coffee. Are you finally ready to talk? I asked. About what? About who you really are. I laughed bitterly. I'm nobody now. She shook her head. You've never been nobody. I said, my father would disagree. She softened. Your father died protecting that company. I closed my eyes. He worked himself into the ground. He built an empire, she said. And it killed him, I replied. Silence sat between us. She said, why did you hide everything? For love, I answered. For Lena, she said. Yes. Maya sighed. You hid your power so she could shine. I wanted her to succeed on her own, I said. And now, she asked. I stood and paced. If I reveal myself, I destroy her. She destroyed you, Maya replied. That doesn't make it right, I said. She leaned forward. What scares you? Becoming the villain, I admitted. She smiled sadly. Power doesn't make villains. Choices do. I stopped walking. What if I enjoy it? Then you'll stop, she said. Or you won't. Either way, it's your choice. I asked, what if I walk away? She answered, then you'll hate yourself. I ran a hand through my hair. I already do. Maya stood. Listen carefully. I looked at her. You didn't steal anything, she said. You didn't lie, she continued. You trusted someone who didn't deserve it. I said, trust feels stupid now. It's not, she replied. It's expensive. I sat back down. I don't want blood. Good, she said. Then don't spill any. I frowned. You're telling me not to fight. I'm telling you to fight smart, she said. She pulled a file from her desk. What's that? I asked. Your father's trust documents, she said. I stared. You kept them? I always knew you'd need them, she replied. I said quietly, Lena can't know. She won't, Maya said. I exhaled. I don't want revenge. Maya raised an eyebrow. I want balance, I said. She nodded. Then don't strike first. Then what? I asked. Let her make mistakes, she said. I remembered Lena's confidence. Her smile. Her certainty. She thinks she's untouchable, I said. That's dangerous, Maya replied. I clenched my fist. I won't expose myself. Good, she said. I won't attack her directly, I added. Better, she replied. I looked at Maya. I'll let her hang herself. Maya met my gaze. And you? She asked. I'll hold the rope, I said. She nodded once. Then you're ready? I stood to leave. At the door I paused. Maya? Yes. Thank you for not saving me, I said. She smiled. You're not meant to be saved. I walked out feeling lighter. Not kinder. Not crueler. Just awake. I walked back into the building wearing a visitor badge. The receptionist asked, Name? Consultant, I said. She hesitated. For which department? All of them, I replied. In the boardroom, Lena didn't look at me twice. She said, Let's not waste time. A director gestured toward me. This is the external advisor. Lena nodded. Fine. Sit. I took the seat across from her. She said, You'll observe only. I answered, Of course. Ethan smirked. Hope you can keep up. I replied, I'll try. Lena began, Revenue growth looks strong. I said, On paper. She frowned. Excuse me? I smiled. Cash flow tells a different story. Ethan leaned forward. That's not accurate. I asked, Did you review the offshore transfers? Silence followed. Lena tapped her pen. We'll discuss that later. A board member asked, Is there risk? I said, Significant. Lena crossed her arms. Based on what? Your last 3 acquisitions, I replied. Ethan laughed. Speculation. I looked at him. Numbers don't speculate. Lena snapped, Who are you? Someone paid to notice details, I said. The vote moved forward. 2 directors hesitated. Lena said sharply, We proceed. 1 director asked, Advisor? I said, Delay approval. Reason? Lena demanded. Exposure, I answered. The vote stalled. Lena's jaw tightened. After the meeting she blocked my path. You overstepped, she said. I answered when asked, I replied. She scoffed. You think you're important? No, I said. I think you're careless. Her eyes flashed. Watch yourself. I smiled. Always. Days passed like that. Meetings. Reviews. Quiet shifts. Ethan argued more. Lena listened less. She snapped during one call, Why is this deal frozen? I said, Because it's bad. She laughed coldly. You don't understand ambition. I understand collapse, I replied. Another vote went sideways. Another delay. Lena whispered to Ethan, Something's wrong. He shrugged. Paranoia. In private she cornered me again. You enjoy this? She asked. I replied, I enjoy accuracy. She said, You're replaceable. I nodded. Everyone thinks that. At lunch, a director asked me, Thoughts on leadership? I said, Confidence without discipline fails. The room went quiet. Lena stared at me. She forced a smile. Anything else? Yes, I said. Your margins are inflated. Ethan slammed the table. This is sabotage. I replied, This is accounting. The board requested an audit. Lena froze. Later she hissed, You're trying to embarrass me. I said calmly, You're doing fine alone. She leaned closer. Who sent you? I met her eyes. No one. She laughed nervously. You think you matter. I answered, I already do. She shook her head. You're nothing but a consultant. I smiled. For now. She turned away, angry, confused. She never once recognized me. That night she sent an email copying the board. She wrote, This advisor lacks loyalty. I replied with one line. Loyalty requires truth. The next morning voting rights shifted. Mine carried more weight. Lena called a meeting. She said, I don't like you. I replied, That's irrelevant. She sneered, You don't belong here. I stood. Neither do lies. She waved me off. You'll be gone soon. I looked at her and thought. She had no idea. The audit request went out at noon. Ethan stormed into the meeting room. Who approved this? I replied, The board. Lena snapped, This is unnecessary. A director said, It's routine. She shot back, It's disruptive. Ethan leaned toward me. You did this. I answered, Facts did. Lena slammed her folder shut. Everyone out. No one moved. She pointed at an assistant. Didn't you hear me? The assistant whispered, yes, and rushed out. Lena turned to me. You're enjoying this. I said, I warned you. Her voice shook. You're undermining leadership. I replied, I'm protecting the company. Ethan laughed too loudly. This is paranoia. I asked, then why are you nervous? His smile faded. I'm not, he said quickly. The auditor spoke calmly. We'll need access to records. Lena said, how long? As long as it takes, he replied. After the meeting, Lena exploded. She shouted at staff. Who leaked projections? A manager said, they requested them. She yelled, do what I pay you to do. I watched her unravel. This woman once held my hand in silence. Now she crushed everyone around her. In the hallway, Ethan hissed, fix this. Lena snapped, I don't need fixing. She saw me and stiffened. You, she said, stay. When we were alone, she asked, what do you want? I said, transparency. She laughed bitterly. You're naive. I replied, you're exposed. Her eyes darted. You think this hurts me? I said, I think it's just starting. She leaned closer. You don't know how high this goes. I answered, high enough to fall. She stepped back, breathing fast. This audit will ruin timelines, she said. Bad timelines deserve ruin, I replied. That night, I walked home instead of driving. I reached into my pocket and felt metal. The ring. I stopped under a streetlight. I held it between my fingers. I remembered her voice. I choose you. I opened my hand. I almost threw it. My phone buzzed. Unknown number. Hello. I said. Please don't hang up, Lena said. I closed my fist around the ring. What is it? I asked. Her voice cracked. They're tearing everything apart. I said nothing. She whispered, Ethan says it'll pass. I replied, he's wrong. She exhaled sharply. You understand the numbers. I said, so? You're the only one, she said. I felt something twist in my chest. She continued, everyone else just panics. I asked, why are you calling me? She hesitated. Because you're calm. I closed my eyes. I need help, she said quietly. I asked, with what? Fixing this, she replied. Before it's too late. I looked at the ring again. Gold. Simple. Heavy. She added, please? I said nothing. You don't owe me, she rushed. I know, I replied. Her voice broke. I made mistakes. Yes, I said. She whispered, help me. I answered slowly, I'll consider it. She breathed out. Thank you. The call ended. I stood there alone. The ring stayed in my pocket. The boardroom doors closed softly. Lena frowned. Why is this meeting private? A director said, let's begin. Ethan crossed his arms. This is a waste of time. I said, sit down. He stared at me. Excuse me? Sit, I repeated. Lena snapped, don't speak to him like that. I looked at her. You might want to listen. She scoffed. To you? Yes, I said. The chairman cleared his throat. We've reviewed the audit. Lena straightened. And? He said, it confirms manipulation. Ethan laughed. That's absurd. I slid a folder forward. Those signatures, I said, are yours. Ethan stood. This is a setup. Sit, the chairman ordered. Lena turned to me. You did this. I nodded. I allowed it. She narrowed her eyes. Who are you? I took a breath. Someone you should have respected. Her voice sharpened. Answer me. I said calmly, I'm the majority shareholder. The room went silent. Lena laughed once. That's not funny. I continued, the trust you've been reporting to. Her smile faded. Ethan whispered, Lena? She ignored him. You hid this, she said to me. I trusted you, I replied. Her face drained of color. No, she said. You're lying. I placed another document down. Maya's signature sat at the bottom. Lena's hands trembled. You stayed silent. I stayed in love, I said. She shook her head. You never said. I didn't need to, I replied. Ethan jumped up. This changes nothing. I looked at him. You're done. Security stepped forward. Ethan shouted, you can't remove me. The chairman said, you're terminated. Ethan turned to Lena. Fix this. She didn't move. They escorted him out. The door closed. Lena stared at the table. I never wanted this ending, I said. She whispered, then why? Because you chose it, I replied. She looked up, eyes wet. I was scared. Of what? I asked. Being powerless, she said. I answered, so you used me. She cried, I loved you. I said, you loved winning. She stood abruptly. I can explain. Sit, I said gently. She collapsed into the chair. I made mistakes, she said. Yes, I replied. She grabbed the table. I didn't think you'd fight back. I didn't, I said. Her voice broke. Then why am I losing? Because truth showed up, I replied. She whispered, please? For what? I asked. Forgiveness, she said. I stayed quiet. She sobbed. I was wrong. I know, I said. She reached for me. We can fix this. I stepped back. This isn't about us anymore, I said. She cried harder. The chairman spoke. Lena stepped down. She froze. I built this, she whispered. You took credit for it, I replied. Her shoulders shook. I trusted you, she said. I answered, I trusted you first. She looked up. Do you hate me? I searched myself. No, I said. That hurt her more. I don't feel anything, I continued. The chairman asked, final comments? I said, accept her resignation. Lena whispered, you're ending me? I replied, you ended yourself. The vote passed. Unanimous. She stood slowly. This is really happening, she said. Yes, I replied. She looked at me one last time. I never saw you, she said. I know, I answered. She walked out. No shouting. No apology left. The room exhaled. The chairman said, congratulations. I shook my head. No. What then? He asked. It's just balance, I said. I felt no joy. Only calm. The power had shifted. The lobby was quieter than usual. Lena stepped out of the elevator holding a thin box. Someone whispered, is that her? Another voice said, former CO. She kept her head down. I stood near the glass doors. She saw me and stopped. So this is it, she said. I replied, you're free to go. She laughed softly. You always sound calm. I worked for that, I said. She shifted the box in her arms. They won't return my calls, she said. I answered, they don't have to. She glanced around. Everyone's watching. Yes, I said. She swallowed. You could have ruined me publicly. I didn't need to, I replied. She nodded. The truth did enough. A guard cleared his throat. Do you need assistance? He asked her. She shook her head. No. She turned back to me. Can we talk? She asked. I said, we already did. She took a step closer. I meant as people. I didn't move. There's nothing left, I said. Her voice trembled. I didn't plan this. You still chose it, I replied. She looked at the floor. I lost everything, she whispered. I answered, so did I. She raised her eyes. You recovered. Yes, I said. And I didn't, she said. That's not my responsibility, I replied. Her hands tightened on the box. I never thought you'd be this cold. I said, I'm not cold. Then what are you? She asked. Finished, I replied. She laughed once, broken. You always hated confrontation. I hated lies, I said. She took a breath. I'm sorry. I nodded. I know. That's it? She asked. That's enough, I replied. She stepped closer again. Say something else, she begged. I shook my head. Please, she said. I said, goodbye, Lena. The doors slid open behind her. Cold air rushed in. She hesitated. You were the only one who believed in me, she said. I believed in us, I corrected. She nodded slowly. I ruined that, she said. Yes, I replied. She took one last look at the building. The glass reflected her face. She said, I don't know who I am now. I answered, neither did I once. She waited, hoping I'd say more. I didn't. She turned and walked out. The doors closed. The lobby breathed again. A junior employee approached me. Is it over? He asked. Yes, I said. He nodded. Thank you. I walked back toward the elevators. My phone buzzed. Maya texted, she's gone. I replied, I saw. Another message appeared. Do you regret it? I thought for a moment. No, I typed. I stepped into the elevator. A stranger asked, new CO? I said, temporary. The doors closed. Silence followed. I remembered another day. Another box. Another walkout. This time I stayed. At my office the lights were on. The chair waited. I didn't sit right away. I stood by the window. The city moved below. Unaware. My phone buzzed again. Unknown number. I didn't answer. I took the ring from my pocket. I looked at it once more. Then I placed it on the desk. Not thrown. Not hidden. Just released. I sat down. Opened a file. Work continued. Justice didn't shout. It didn't smile. It simply arrived, signed the papers, and left quietly. The office was quiet. Too quiet. A junior manager poked his head in. "Sir, are we ready for the morning brief?" I nodded. "Yes. Let's start." He hesitated. "Are we different now?" I smiled. "We always could be." In the boardroom I faced the directors. "I'll be restructuring," I said. One asked, "Will it be harsh?" "No," I replied. "Fair." Maya leaned over and whispered, "You've changed." "I had to," I said. I called a team meeting. "Listen," I said, "mistakes happen when we ignore people." "Not now." A staff member raised a hand. "You mean the junior teams?" "Yes," I said. "Everyone deserves respect." Someone chuckled. "Even the interns?" "Yes," I replied. I scheduled one-on-one reviews. People were nervous. "Do you actually listen?" someone asked. "I do," I said. "Always have." I just never spoke. At lunch, Maya sat across from me. "You're finally visible," she said. "I don't need invisibility," I said. "I need balance." She smirked. "Balance, huh? That's your motto now." "Yes," I replied. "Balance is better than power." I called the finance team. "Ethan's mess is mostly cleared," I said. "Do we fire anyone?" someone asked. "Not unless necessary," I answered. Later I reviewed old projects. I called each responsible manager. "Your contributions are noted," I said. They smiled nervously. "I'll fix what was broken and I'll reward who deserves it," I added. The phone rang. Unknown number. I answered. "Congratulations," Lena said. I leaned back. "Thanks." "You're ruthless," she said. "I'm precise," I replied. She faltered. "I wanted to apologize properly." "I know," I said. "You don't hate me?" "No," I replied. She sighed. "I lost everything." "Did you learn anything?" I asked. Her voice trembled. "Yes." "Good," I said. The call ended. I went to the lobby. The sunlight hit the marble floor. Felt different now. I walked past the same receptionist. "Good morning, sir," she said. "Good morning," I replied. I stared at the doors. Once I left in shame. Now I belonged here. I went to the river afterward. Cold water rushed past my hands. I held the engagement ring. Gold, simple, heavy. I whispered to no one, "This ends here." I let it slip from my fingers. It twirled, caught the light, then sank. I didn't feel sadness. I didn't feel triumph. I felt free. Maya called. "Did you do it?" "Yes," I said. "Are you okay?" "I'm better than okay," I replied. I walked along the riverbank. People passed. Children laughed. Life moved on. So had I. A staff member called later. "Sir, the restructuring plan works perfectly." "Good," I said. "We keep moving forward." I remembered Ethan, Lena, and every betrayal. No hatred lingered. Only lessons. A manager asked, "Do you regret hiding for so long?" "I regret nothing," I said. "I learned everything." The phone buzzed again. Maya texted, "You finally look at yourself." I smiled. "I finally belong to me," I typed back. Back at the office I signed approvals. Every decision reflected fairness. Every move reflected thought. A junior intern asked, "Can we trust leadership now?" I said, "Trust isn't given blindly. Earn it." They nodded. I stepped into the lobby again. The glass walls reflected the sky. I paused. I belonged here, not to anyone, not to a title, not to a love that betrayed me. I sat on a bench by the river later. Watched the gold ring disappear beneath the current. It was just metal now. A memory. I whispered, "I survived. I evolved." The wind touched my face. I felt alive. The city moved around me. People hustled, spoke, lived. So did I. I stood up. No weight on my shoulders. No chains in my heart. The river carried away the past. I walked forward fully myself. Finally.